teams. All right, we got James Madison and Marshall, Thursday night college football action. James Madison, 3.5-point road favorites, 52 the total here in this James Madison Marshall game. I'm really reluctant right now to step in front of this freight train that is James Madison right now. I mean, the Dukes have been absolutely spectacular. Undefeated on the season, 6-0 straight up. How good is Frank Signetti, their head coach here, James Madison? He's done a great job. He's not going to be there very long, actually. This is a guy that's going to get a bigger job pretty soon. Frank Signetti here, the head coach here of this James Madison team. He's been absolutely terrific doing the job at the coaching spot. They've got a very good offense. No question about that. I'm mixing them up with the guy from Pitt. It's Kurt Signetti's the head coach of James Madison. He's done a great job. There's no question about that. Their offense is just on fire right now. I mean, look at these recent results. They put up 45 against Utah State, 41 against Georgia Southern last week. What a spot that was, by the way. I laid it with James Madison against Georgia Southern. No sweat in that game. They won 41-13 at home. And then even against a very good defensive South Bama, they get put up a 31 spot in that game. You know what? Jordan McLeod, South Florida transfer. He was with South Florida. He was actually with Arizona for a bit. But, you look at his numbers this year for JMU, 64% completions, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. The passing game has been good. He's a dual threat. He can run the football. He's got some athleticism. So Jordan McLeod has really been the spark here for this offense. And look, they had a good offense last year when they had Todd Centeio at quarterback. But I think it's gone even further, how much better they've gotten with James Madison at quarterback under McLeod. McLeod's been very strong. They have a good run game for the James Madison Dukes as well. You look at it, they've been able to run the ball, but the passing game's been solid. This Marshall defense is just not very good. I think that is the one thing about Marshall that's really disheartening about this Thundering Herd team. Going back to Doc Holliday, Connor, we've been around long enough in this business and betting to know Doc Holliday and that era of Marshall football. Before he retired, his teams were always built on run the football, play great defense. You're not seeing a lot of great defense right now from the Marshall Thundering Herd. 41 allowed in a loss at Georgia State last week, 48 to NC State when they made the change to MJ Morris at quarterback, 35 to Old Dominion. They won that game, but pretty much only because they outscored ODU. Just not a very good defense. I think you're going to see points in this game. I'm a little surprised the total's in this low 50s range in this game. This is not that same Marshall defense. I understand maybe putting a Marshall game in the low 50s as far as the total is concerned. If you were talking about a defense from last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago or any of those Doc Holliday coached Marshall defenses, this is not a good defense. And I have seen it now 3 weeks in a row. They can't get stops on that side of the football. They are offensively capable. Cam Fancher, is a capable enough quarterback. They've got some balance in their offense. Rashid Ali, of course, very, very solid run game with him at the running back spot. Caleb Coombs, a good receiver. They should be able to score a little bit too. I think the total is the way to go here, 52. Now, I'm just going to look up the weather for Thursday. I'm seeing if maybe that's
just why. A little bit of wind.
Just a little bit of wind. I don't know if it's going to be damaging enough to talk me off and over, but certainly that's the way I would lean. And James Madison's a good defensive team. They really are, and they've shown it. But that offense is just so good right now. 36-plus points for JMU in all but one game. And the only game that they were held below 30 points was Troy. And Troy's got probably the best defense, in this conference. It's Conference USA, without a doubt. So there's no shame in James Madison struggling a little on offense in that game against a pretty good Troy defense. Yeah, so I like over the total. And I'm not stepping in front of JMU. Now, I know they're off a big home win. They're going on the road. It's a short week. You got to lay more than a field goal. But I ain't taking I don't trust Marshall to stop this offense, with what I've seen the last few weeks. And I think the James Madison continues to be just a point spread monster. 4 straight ATS that they have won. I ain't stepping in front of JMU. Doesn't mean I'm betting JMU for sure, but I sure as hell ain't going against them. So it's JMU or pass, and I'll probably jump in with over 52 in this game. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, this game too. I think I had this up. A little bit of revenge from last year. Marshall beat James Madison 26-12, And that's what you mentioned, the Marshall defense. Where has it gone? A team that dating back had won 10 straight games. They lose last week to NC State and then give up a ton last week. The big thing is James Madison should be able to run the football. They average over 160 on the ground. Marshall, ranks 119th. They give up over 190 yards on the ground. That won't be good. But Marshall off back-to-back losses at home. I'm interested in them a little bit as dogs at home, and that's just going against James Madison, who's red hot. I want to look at this one a little bit more throughout the week, but that's where I'm leaning. I think it can get over too. Right now we're a week out or whatever, ways out, a few days out. I don't know if the wind's going to be that bad. We're going to have to just wait till kickoff there. But I lean over. I think there'll be points.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Kurt Cignetti's the head coach of James Madison. They're brothers. Frank is the offensive coordinator with Pitt. Yeah,
at Pitt, right?
Yeah, Frank's the OC at Pitt. Kurt's the head coach at, and Kurt's going to get a job in a Power 5 program at some point. It's going to happen.
Oh yeah,
there's no question. So if you like Kurt Cignetti, and why wouldn't you? He's done a great job. Enjoy him while you got him there, because probably not going to be there forever.